size as my head, like optically.
I don't think that is true. Oh, okay. Well, yes. It's a large mic.
Yeah.
It's significant. Welcome back, my darlings.
Oh.
We are in a weird mood today, but you are listening to It's Cool S2, the podcast for women in their 30s who are just honestly ready to build their life that they want, that they dream of on their terms, their timeline, and by their rules. And honestly, we just want you to know that regardless of where you are at in this decade, or past it or before it, you know, we're all kind of dealing with the same shit. I tried to do like weird ode back to the original one, and then like I took the like scenic route around to get
the way
there.
you said, regardless, you were like the way you are at the way you said you are made me.
That's
laugh.
what did it.
Yeah, that's what did it.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. No, guys, we are losing it. We've been talking for 40 minutes already.
Yeah,
and it's funny because I think some people think how we talk on the podcast is like we're putting it on. I would actually say we're taming it down.
On the pod?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like if you listen to the podcast, the conversation we were just having and like how, but like the banter, all of that stuff, I think people think that it's like an act sometimes maybe, or like we're like showing up to perform for the pod. And like, I promise you it is not.
I think that's why that Gimlet episode probably can't ever see the light of day, because when we're at least moderately sober, we understand the line
boundaries
to some extent.
At one point, and you cannot make a clip of this. At one point, I mean,
I did. It just won't go out.
I just kept saying, I'm very aware of my nipples. Like, it was revealing. The episode,
and it was so funny because Nicole was like, well, we can use that episode. And I was like, have you watched it? Because it's shocking.
I hadn't. Because in my head, I was like, this is hilarious. We were on fire.
No. We made like half of a point at one time. Like there was just a quarter of a point.
No, we should revisit the theme of it though, because I do think there's something.
The theme was great.
It's just we need to be sober.
Yeah, we didn't really land the plane.
No.
Really land the plane.
Oh my God. Okay, so I remember how I was struggling before we started. I was like, there's something else.
What was it?
I am so annoyed because TikTok is for sure shadow banning us right now.
Oh my God, I know. They don't like the GLP-1 content.
They really don't. We went from like flying high to like 7 views on a video.
Yeah, like it's like we did something
300
wrong.
view jail.
If someone knows what's going on there, I would really appreciate it. Like, are you not allowed to talk about GLP-1s?
We're just flabbergasted.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really weird.
It's because honestly, I would say the amount of comments and feedback I got on that episode, like positively, how many people like really enjoyed it and really liked the conversation and how honest it was. It's such a bummer that for no apparent reason, we're being blocked from reaching the masses.
We want to share the love.
It's bleak. I also had this vision, and I'm going to share it here, of us doing more content like day in the life, but like bringing people along in like each of our jobs. And then like being like when you and I FaceTime each other to like chat about stuff, or like recording or like editing, or like you're pulling clips and stuff, like bringing people behind the scenes of the making of the podcast. And so this is because I can't hear anyone right now, but I am going to ask for feedback in like our DMs, or comment if you're on Spotify on the comment section. Would you guys like that? Would people like to see it?
I mean, I think that in general, anything that humanizes people just does incredibly well. So I bet you they would. I mean, we're fascinating individuals.
But we're not human.
I think the people would love it, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what you were just talking about makes me it just makes me reflect on like when we started, all we had the capacity for was just one episode recording a week, and ever
One
since
post. Yeah.
and one post basically.
Yeah.
And it's like we've gotten, not that we have more time, we actually probably have less time, but we've gotten
more efficient
and also willing to invest more time as momentum builds and we get more people listening to the podcast.
Totally.
So this is just the next level of like moving the needle. So yeah, we do need to figure that out. And soon we're gonna have new branding and photos. I'm so pumped about that.
Yeah. You didn't ask, but there's not really a ton going on in my life right now. I don't have a lot happening these days. Just work, some dating, and then some travel the next little bit. But
so lots of things.
Yeah, but nothing like
exciting.
Into.
Yeah.
But like many other people, I have been on the Olympics train for the last few weeks. I love the Olympics. Like at one point, like when I was in high school, I was like, I'm going to work for the Olympics. I was in one international business class and our project was to put together a bid for the Olympics. And from there I was like, this is what I shall do.
Like, this is actually my calling.
No, I do work in events though, different. Anyways. But I am like, I woke up on Sunday. I watched the gold medal game. I had my heart broken, but I have been on like hockey player TikTok, and now I've been introduced to all these hockey players on my TikTok that I didn't know. And it's kind of nice because my crush list has been revitalized in a way. But there's some of them that I look at and I'm like, you're unattractive, but there's something about you that's doing it for me.
Is there any commonalities?
No.
Like across the ones that you're finding attractive?
I think it's like their energy or their vibe. It's like big dick energy, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, well, that's the newest exciting thing in my part. And I'm just...
Well, do you want to tell the class? Because maybe other people will agree.
Well, I think the one that I'm seeing the most like is Sidney Crosby. It's gorgeous. Captain Canada. Who doesn't love him? Whatever.
Yeah.
But there's some other players that are like random, and like I'm getting into like the lore of some of the players, and I was on like Canada and US TikTok, and apparently there's a kid on the US team who's haunted by ghosts. Like there is some interesting he has ghosts apparently that haunt him and he just like spaces out on the ice or something. It's a whole thing. I'll send you some TikToks, but
okay.
Yeah.
This is like reality. This is like the reality TV of athletics. It feels reality TV adjacent.
Yeah.
Which I could get behind.
Anyways, but that's my life. How are you? You have now joined a new club.
I'm 37, everyone. We're both the same age. Everything is right in the world. No, I'm like fighting for my life today. Nicole was like, what time do you want to record? I was like, can we do 6:30? I need to take a nap after work. I'm like on day 2 of a hangover because like my 37-year-old body can't really handle, like it wasn't even that crazy of a night. Like it wasn't even that late. We were up at 8 a.m. the next day, like ordered McDonald's breakfast. My friend Bridget stayed over. And I just like was a sloth all day. Like I rotted all day yesterday and then worked today. And I was like, I'm just spent. Like I can't. It takes me 2 days to recover. But luckily I ordered enough Indian food to feed a family of 6.
Nice.
Yesterday. So after this, I'm going to have Indian leftovers for dinner.
And you know what? That's a good shout because that's like a good type of leftover.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That plays well as a leftover.
It really does. I did text 2 of my friends and say, should I get Indian food or Italian food? And they were like, they didn't respond for about 30 minutes, which is way too long. Like I needed them to help me make a decision in the moment.
You needed immediate assistance.
Yeah. and they didn't. So I ordered Indian. And then 30 minutes later, both of them were like, definitely not Indian. So I
Well,
was like, okay, but actually no, it was good. I've totally skipped the whole my actual birthday explanation, but it was amazing. I actually had such a nice birthday. It started at sort of an odd time because my friend Bridge and her husband, they have two of like my favorite humans in the world, their children. So they came over in the afternoon and people started sort of trickling in from 4. Then we ordered pizza and I had a really delicious cake, lots of champagne. Went to the
stunning
pub
cake.
afterwards. Oh my God, the cake was amazing. If anyone listening is in Toronto, it's called Quento, Kwento. And yeah, an amazing, amazing cake. And yeah, it was just like a pretty small group of my favorite ladies and a couple guys. It was good.
I love that. It's honestly
Yeah.
I find like now birthdays they're fun, but like they're not too much anymore. It's like the perfect amount of like feel
It was
good,
it was pretty
friendship.
understated. Yeah.
Understated is the word I was looking for. Thank you so, so much.
No worries. Yeah, no. I was like, I guess I could have like a fancy dinner out or something. And I was like, I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I hear you.
But no, that was really great. And I'm hoping that tomorrow I wake up and
Feeling like a full
feel
human?
fresher than I do today. So if you are watching this and I look tired, no, I don't. How dare
How
you?
dare you? Well, Megan, this is the most annoying thing. It's because she's against a wall, but she has one light on her. She looks so bright. I basically have the equivalent of a newsroom amount of lights on me. And
She really does. She sent me a video of it. It's kind of wild.
like, it's like just look so washed. It's crazy. Anyways.
So should we chat dating?
Yeah.
Okay, so this conversation has been circulating on my TikTok and Instagram algorithms. This idea of like, and actually it's come up with some of our single friends, too, and trying to commiserate on just like, why does dating, what is it about dating that we find particularly hard in your 30s? I think, and it's this idea of like trauma with like a lowercase t. And it's because if you are actively dating, you are hopefully like going on, several dates a month or at least a couple dates a month. And it's almost like these like mini waves of grief when, something that you start to get excited about doesn't work out. So mini grief might be like getting excited too soon about something or being ghosted after you feel like you're building some momentum, or hearing that someone's not ready to date or they're not ready for a relationship, or watching them move on quickly after you went on a few dates with them. And this like routine need to continue reopening up yourself to something new. It's all of these things that sort of stack up, and that can be that can almost feel like a different type of heartbreak than say, well, it does feel like a different type of heartbreak than say like a massive breakup, like,
yeah, it's the cyclical repetition of having to put yourself out there and it not working out regardless of the reason. Even if it's your own choice for, it not work out. You can go on a date with someone, be with a nice person, but you realize even like, this isn't my person. So fuck, I have to do this again. So every time it doesn't work out, it's the what ifs, and the idea that you're still kind of on this hamster wheel.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then I think the compounding factor too is that when you experience that cyclical nature of disappointment, even if, and you made a good point there, like even if it's you who's ending something, it's still disappointing that something that you were excited about isn't moving forwards. It starts to like harden you. It makes you more cynical. It makes you crave just like being completely independent. Sometimes it can also lead you to like emotionally detach or completely spiral and overanalyze the whole situation. So it like it's like a double whammy. Like you're
Totally.
both dealing with these mini griefs, and then you're also feeling like you are becoming a more hardened person to the whole process, which sucks.
Yeah. Like I have talked about this so many times on this podcast of going from, you know, being in my lover girl era to then I'm an ice queen. And I have oscillated between the two without much kind of, you know, time for the in between the last few years. And I feel like that right now is for me what I have to work on is the almost allowing myself to feel so I can process it a little bit better. But I only feel like I'm really now able to do that because my rebound rate, I think we mentioned this in like 2 episodes ago, is so much better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's about building resilience, right?
Yeah.
So that's like we obviously want to chat about what is so hard about that mini grief, like that element of the mini grief or the trauma with a lowercase t. But we also want to talk about how you can build resilience because we're starting to be able to rebound faster.
Building the muscle. I don't know why I did this. It's like, that's how I do bicep curl. That's why I have no biceps. So I think that's a good place to start. So why don't we kind of kick off being for you? I think we're actually both different in this regard, I think. What in dating specifically, what type of like quote unquote grief do you feel hits you the hardest?
I mean, I'm such a dreamer. I'm a Pisces. But no, in all seriousness, I am a Pisces. And I like live a lot in my head. So
Yeah.
I find the hardest for me is that like future tripping. So okay, good example. I've been on one date with someone. I'm going on another date with that person this week. And like I wouldn't say I'm like super excited about this person. Just because I don't have a lot of information, right? Like it's still so new. But I always have to work really hard not to go down the path of, oh, he also really loves to travel. Where would we want to travel together? Or like, oh, like he enjoys doing this. What would like a Saturday look like if we were dating? And it's like, no, don't future trip. Like, you don't even know this person yet. You're creating ideas about who that person is without the required information. So I find that the grief hits me after I create these sort of stories in my head.
Yeah.
Like, when it doesn't work out, I'm like almost grieving the loss of something that wasn't even real to begin with.
You're assembling the table before you know if you even want to sit at it.
Did you just come up with that right now?
Yeah.
Why are you so good at that?
I don't know.
That was really good,
though.
That was really good.
And I do the exact same thing. And it's almost like what you end up grieving at the end of something not working out isn't really the person because you really truthfully don't know them well enough. It's what you imagine and the potential you saw in them. Right? Which something that's helped me, there's 2 things that have helped me in this regard. One is the second I notice myself start to future trip, what I tell myself is, I don't need to know that yet. That's not my business. Like, we're not there. Like, I try to like almost shrink myself a little bit. And by shrink, maybe like therapist, not like make myself smaller.
Honey, I shrunk the kids.
Weird choice of words. But that's one. And then the other one that I try to do as well for future tripping is I really, if I'm kind of on the back end of it where something's not worked out and I'm sad because it hasn't happened, I try to remind myself the potential I saw in them is the potential that I already have in me. It's just reflected back to me. And like, that's something to really remember because oftentimes the potential you see in someone else is already what you have in yourself.
I don't think I really understand the shrinking thing. Can you explain?
No, like
that?
I'm like I'm trying to be like my own therapist.
Oh,
Not actually shrinking.
no. Okay. So my therapist, I got so confused because in the past, my therapist has been like, why don't you visualize a challenge? Or a couple of my therapists have been like, when you visualize a challenge, you can make it smaller in your head. So I thought that's what you were talking about.
No.
You were talking about
being my own therapist.
Understood.
Yeah. See, sometimes I have great analogies and then sometimes I'm incoherent.
But yeah, what about you? What do you struggle with the most?
The thing that like I struggle with the most, I think, is comparison. And like after something's not worked out, like a grief that I would often feel is like looking at someone and be like, well, why has it happened for this person? Or
like with that specific person, or just
sometimes
in general?
yes, sometimes no. Like I could look at like even like other women and be like, well, why do they get this? Like I find almost, and I do that and it hurts myself.
Yeah.
That's one that I really struggle with. And like looking at, you know, why, you know, the rejection, I have a hard time not taking it personally. And I'm really trying to. And one of the things that I've struggled with a lot over the last few years is, again, it's a matter of extremes. Either I internalize the rejection or something not working, and I think it's something wrong with me, versus just something just not being in alignment as a partnership, or as like, or I like disassociate and shut down.
Yeah.
Like I don't really live in the in between right now. So one thing that I am really working on, and I think I've gotten a lot better, is to like acknowledge, not shut it down right away, like let myself feel something so that I'm able to process it, which is, I think, starting to lead to like better habits in a way. I almost want to say like dating hygiene, but like I don't really know what that even means.
No, that you mean better habits on like while dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. That makes sense to me. I think it's an ongoing battle. And I mean, like the challenge, one of the things I was just reflecting on while you were explaining that is the reason that these mini griefs, or this like cyclical nature of having to pick yourself back up again, is so much harder in your 30s is because we feel like we have less time in our 30s.
100%.
So all of this like comparison or future tripping or taking things personally, at least in my experience, it's harder to process because I want it. I don't know if I want it more, but it feels more important in my life.
It's weighted differently, right?
Yeah.
Like it's got a little bit more backing to it than it did when you were like even in your early 30s or in your 20s. And it's really hard for women especially, and I'm so guilty of this. Like I'm kind of in the middle of it right now, less for dating, but just in general, of being like, well, how much time do I actually have? And the reality is, to fall in love with someone, there is no time expiry. Like that can happen whenever. It's the tie of our like biological clocks.
It's like deduping that.
With partnering, that becomes so challenging. And then you end up making decisions and behaving not from an empowered place, not from a confident place, but from a place that's almost feeling this like sense of desperation. And then you're not really showing up as your true self in a lot of ways. It becomes really challenging to just navigate. And it's a layer of complexity to dating that I think almost then makes every almost what if it didn't work out feel that much more personal.
It's so true. And I'm trying to, I think this was actually on Megan Ray. So someone we had on the podcast, she was talking about this on TikTok. She was talking about along the same lines of what you just said, of like our capacity to fall in love doesn't end in our 30s or 40s.
No.
You can fall in love whenever. And I'm really trying to remove this stigma of you need to find quote unquote your person. Because I don't even know if I believe in the idea. I mean, I'm a romantic, but I don't know if me believing in the idea that you meet your soulmate and that's the person you're going to be with for the rest of your life. I don't think that that's helping me in any way. Like, I'm trying to think of love coming in and like meeting someone without that added pressure of like, this is the one, I've met my person, so that it removes this idea of I need to meet that person sooner rather than later. It takes the pressure off of each new person you're dating.
Do you think like this is almost a question, and it's because I do this myself. I find myself in dating and I'm really trying to sit in the middle ground right now of either I'm dating but for fun because I'm trying to take the pressure off, or I'm dating intentionally and very seriously. But then I'm also showing up maybe more intensely than I would like to.
Yeah, I mean, we're a little different in this way, and we also have slightly different priorities. Like, I know for you, meeting someone to have a family with is incredibly important, and I'm still on the fence. But I don't really subscribe to the idea of like dating with intention.
What do you mean? Explain.
The idea of like I focus a lot more on like the vibes, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I want to meet someone, but I care more about the connection as opposed to like if we line up on certain things in the beginning.
Well, I think that's just, it comes down to a definition of intention, right? Because
True. I think I'm thinking specifically of the
like a checklist.
Like the classic association of dating with intention in my mind has been like, do you meet certain characteristics, or do we match each other in sort of what we want as we get older?
Yeah.
And I don't focus so much on those things in the early stages.
I think, to me, dating with intention is like, well, what's your outcome that you want, right? It's like, and if you're still saying that you're dating to meet someone, to date, and to be in a relationship with, I would qualify that as dating with intention. Unless you're just like, I'm dating to meet people and see what's out there and see what I like. That's more dating for vibes, I would say.
But what was the dichotomy that you just raised? You said dating for intention versus what was
like
the
dating
other
intentionally to meet someone to be in a relationship with versus I'm going to date for fun to like see what's out there.
Right. Okay. So I guess I'm more doing that. Like what the thing in my bio is like short, open to short, looking for long-term, open to short. So like, I guess that's more what I'm doing.
Got it. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't have that. I don't know if I've put even in there. There's some things I don't have on my profile, which also isn't great, but well, the dating apps are a different story, right?
Yeah.
Entirely. But yeah, no, I think honestly, I just think that comes down to definition and like how you approach it versus like my dating with intention is different than your dating with intention. But I think we're both dating with the idea that like we would like a partner.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I would. I guess I'm just trying to find ways to put less pressure on it and make it fun while I'm going through it.
Totally. I think, and so like I've been spending a lot of time trying to think about this specifically around like, how do I do that? Like, how do I move away from like this boom and bust cycle with dating, which inevitably makes me feel like really, 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 really excited and then really, 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 really low.
Yeah.
Depending on how things have kind of progressed. And I think the only thing that I've come up with, and I'm interested to know what you think on this from an like advice perspective, is to decenter dating, basically. Not to pause it or like move it away, but to decenter it as like the main thing and have it just be another part of your life, the same way that like going to the gym and like trying to get fit would be, or working hard at work and trying to get a promotion. It's like a facet of your life. And it's important, but it's not, you're not over indexing on it. And I think for me specifically, making it so that like, I go all in and then I go all out. So trying to do it sustainably is also something that I'm trying to work on as best I can.
Yeah, I think, well, when we had Janelle on, she was talking about like when you want to really change your life, like you need to sort of be laser focused on one thing. And obviously,
Yeah.
she wasn't talking about dating. In this example, she was looking to lose weight and really up her health game. But I think a lot of people go into dating with this idea of like, if I work hard, really, really hard, and believe in myself and get laser focused on dating, then I'll be able to accomplish something. The problem is that's not fully within your control.
It's not. There's so
So
much luck and timing that goes into it.
yeah, so I think the best ways that I've found in the last few years is to keep my life really full. So basically what you just said, like decentering this as like a core element of who I am and making it one of the core elements of who I am.
Totally.
Like, so yeah. And I think even just in terms of like time spent, I think it's Tinks who has this advice of like, spend 10 minutes a day on the apps, you know, like you don't need to spend 45 minutes scrolling right before bed. I think our friend Teresa set up a goal of going on one date a month, which actually really helped her last year because it was like, not that she couldn't go on more, but just, you know, having a goal that feels quite manageable, that does compound over time. But she's got all this other stuff going on in her life. And I was like, oh, I really like that idea. So yeah, making it one of the many things I think really does help.
I also think post-pandemic, we've just, and I'm definitely guilty of this, we've almost all resigned ourselves to the fact that the only way to meet someone is through the apps.
Yeah.
And it's not. Like you can, I mean, I had the experience, albeit extreme, but like think about how many people you talk to and meet in a given day, right? Your barista, someone you're passing on the street or like holding a door open for, you're in a gym class with, you know, like there's many moments throughout your day. And while they're not all, they don't all have the potential to be romantic, there's still connection.
Yeah.
And recognizing even in that, whether it's romantic or not, where you're maybe not open for that connection is something that I've spent a lot of time working on. I'm still working on it because I'm very like, I'm a headphones in, eyes front and center
Same.
kind of person. And I'm trying to be more open so that, again, I can meet new friends. I can meet new like people through work. I can connect with different people dating even, or like you just never know. And I think opening yourself up, which goes back to last week's episode, you can't receive anything in if you're closed off.
Yeah.
So, and just because you're on an app or not on an app, like I was saying to Meg beforehand, I'm just so frustrated with the apps right now that I'm going to take a bit of a pause, but that doesn't mean I'm taking a pause on dating. Whereas previously my mentality would have been, I'm pausing the apps or I'm deleting my apps. I'm pausing and deleting dating right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think what honestly perpetuates this, like, you know, small t trauma and micro grief in dating is the constant extremes. It's like I'm dating or I'm not. I'm really excited. I'm really depressed. Like I'm dating and talking to 10 people, or I'm talking to no one and no one's liking me. And I think that has, for myself, made it really difficult to just honestly be present.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think all of this is really intertwined with the idea of building resilience. And like, how do you actually, because that's sort of the input to decentering men from your life is like being able to take it less seriously because you don't feel like if someone rejects you, that has something to do with you, because oftentimes it has literally nothing to do with you. I always come back to this one quote that I saw when I was like in high school that I loved. It's like, you could be, forget who said it, but you could be the juiciest peach in the world. And if someone doesn't like peaches, then they don't want you. I don't know exactly how it ends, but I always think about that as it relates to dating, because you could be like the hottest version of yourself or the coolest version of yourself,
And if
or
someone doesn't like
whatever it
brunettes
is,
or blondes or tall women or short, but like
or just like you don't,
you're
the
not
chemistry
vibes.
isn't there. Yeah, like so, and I think that one, positive about dating in your 30s is like you know yourself a lot better. And I think really good we're in a really good place now, feeling more secure in our skin to really try and internalize that.
I feel so much wiser than I did when we started the pod.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like I feel more grounded and like stable. If you've been listening since the beginning, let me know if that's actually coming through.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. Could not.
But like I want to chat about some actual things because I'm the kind of person that's always like, well, what can I do? What can I control? Like input
Yeah.
to build this resilience. And something that has been really helpful to me, and I'm trying to get better at it repetitively, is gratitude. I think when you recognize and take a moment to practice gratitude for the things in your day, the things in your life, all the wonderful things that you have, the things that you may previously have perceived as like these glaring holes or these deficiencies or like these areas in your life, i.e., a relationship that's not there, doesn't matter as much because you recognize how lucky and how much you have in your life that previous you would have wished for.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really easy, quick way to be able to refocus your head and refocus your brain because there's maybe not for everyone. Maybe this is a me thing, but the stuff in dating, sometimes it's so hard to not take personally. And it could be really easy to be like, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I not enough? All of those pieces. And if you start recognizing all the amazing parts about you and your life, that voice becomes a lot less noticeable.
Loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's a really nice, like, as you said, like quick way of trying to reframe any like self-judgment that you've got, or any of the ways that you might be being hard on yourself when something doesn't work. I think another thing that I'm trying to do is measure not the amount of times that you're disappointed. So really try and flip the script on like what it is you're measuring and measure like your rebound rate. So let yourself be sad, give yourself time. Like I'm not talking like 3 weeks. Well, it depends. It depends what you're getting over. But say you went on a few dates with someone, you thought the potential was there and it didn't work out for whatever reason. Let yourself have a little funeral for them. And then measure how quickly you're able to rebound. I don't mean like how quickly you're able to get another date. I mean like how quickly you're able to feel like yourself again.
Yeah.
And feel like, so it's essentially measuring the success of your dating habits and your dating experience based on your own resiliency. And I think that also makes me focus on the right things. It makes me, reach out to my community. It makes me work harder at work because I want to feel like my life is full, plan trips, like all of the things that I need to do to feel like me sort of come into focus, I think, when I'm thinking more about how to build that resiliency.
Yeah. And you mentioned it briefly in that, but I just want to like revisit it. Let yourself feel it. Don't try to shut yourself down. Don't try to disassociate. Don't try to like distract yourself. The quickest way to get over something is to go through it.
Definitely. Yeah. And the other thing is we talked about future tripping a lot, which like I'm probably just going to struggle with that for the rest of my life because I love to.
We've got great big imaginations.
Yeah. Really big imaginations, which sometimes is great in life. And in this way, it kicks me in the ass a little. But I think you can try to reframe, making assumptions about what might happen in the future around this idea of just being curious about the person. So if you start to notice yourself being like, ooh, like this is what we would do on a Sunday morning together, try to reframe that as like, what would this person want to do on a Sunday morning? I should ask them that. You know, like make it more about like your curiosity about the person and less about you prescribing something to that person.
Totally. Totally. I think all this is really good advice. Like I could have used this advice a few years ago, honestly.
And it's not like we always get this right, guys.
No, we're
We
very,
don't.
as, it was told earlier, we're human.
Very human, deeply human.
Yeah. There's a quote here that you have at the very end for closing. I think it's the perfect way to end it out, which is, it summarizes everything we're trying to say. Dating in your 30s isn't about avoiding hurt. It's about not letting the small hurts define you.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a fly in here that keeps hitting me in the face. Like it's trying to start a fight with me.
in the middle of winter?
It's wild. My apartment's clean, I promise.
Okay, well, thanks so much, guys, for listening. We have some really cool people that are going to be joining on the pod over the next month or two.
Yeah.
We're going to have some new brand and photography coming out. And yeah, if you need us, we're here. Reach out on Instagram or TikTok. We love you guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.